Welcome to Game 2 of today's doubleheader between the visiting Tübingen Hawks and the home team Mainz Athletics. Today's starting lineup in Game 2 for the Tübingen Hawks be the center fielder, number 30, Marcel Herring, batting first. Batting second, the catcher, Camille Petjal, number 26. Batting third, shortstop, Luca Helber, number 31. Batting cleanup, number 44, the third baseman, Hagen Rutz. Pitcher, batting fifth, Joshua Wyant, number 9. Batting field, number 28, Kalle Michel. Seventh, playing first base, number 33, Matthias Schmidt. Batting eighth, playing right field, number 36, Jaden Hung. And batting ninth, the second baseman, number 4, Stefan Karpf. In the field for the Mainz Athletics, on the mound, Leonard Stocklin with Max Bolt as his battery mate at catcher. Around the horn from third base to first base, we have Maurice Bucadita, excuse me, Maurice, sorry about that. At third base, Nicky Weichert at shortstop, Victor Vola at second base, and Felix Theodorov at first base. Left to right in the outfield, Carl Feldman in left field, Jerome Noso in center field, and Peter Johannesson in right field.
Herzlich willkommen zurück zum zweiten Spiel des Spiel der Playdowns. Max Bold am ersten auf den zweiten voll.
Leading off the top of the first inning for Tübingen Hawks, center fielder, number 30, Marcel Herring. Ball put to plate out to Weichert, the shortstop. Ball's a little off the line. Marcel Herring safe at first base. Now batting, Camille Petjal. Runner on first base, nobody out. Not quite sure what the umpire saw, but he called it ball one. Pitch is low, ball 2. Ball a little bit high. 3 balls, no strikes. Runner at first base. That ball's right down the middle. Pitch out, taking all the way. 3 balls, 1 strike. Pitch out checking the count with the umpires. Guess he thought it was ball 4. I don't know. Little off-speed pitch. Fouled straight back. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Runner on first base. Throw back over to first base. Just keeping hearing honest over there. Ball 4. Pitch out takes the trot down to first base.
Ball 4, der Wurf für Peter, damit jetzt Runner auf der 1 und auf der 2.
The batter now shortstop, Lucas Helder. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Bunt attempt. Lenny loses his footing. Everyone's safe. Bases loaded, nobody out. The batter, Hagen Ritz. Ritz talking to his bat after fouling that one back. No balls, 1 strike. Off-speed pitch, straight down the middle. No balls, 2 strikes. Little outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Off-speed pitch. Swing and a miss. Big out, number 1. Now coming to bat, Joshua Wyatt.
Pitcher Joshua Wyatt jetzt am Schlag.
Called strike by the umpire. No balls, 1 strike. 1 out. Bases loaded. Held off on the high pitch. Count even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Wyatt fouls that ball back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That ball is an infield fly rule. Batter's out. Victor Foll follows through with the catch at infield from second base. 2 outs now. The batter, Caleb Michel. Runners on first, second, and third. Stokeland drops a curveball in. No balls, 1 strike. Ball put in play out to Victor Foll. Victor tosses over to to Felix Taylor Rolfe at first base. And Lenny Stokeland got out of a full-blown jam, loaded the bases with nobody out, and got out of the inning with no runs scored.
Und im Outfield haben wir Kallenmittel im Left Field, im Center Field steht Manuel Ehring und im Right Field schließlich Jaden Hunt. Wir gehen in die untere Hälfte des ersten Innings in diesem zweiten Spiel und auf die beginnt wieder Chevron Loso.
Leading off the bottom of the ninth inning, bottom of the first inning. I'm trying to get through this game in a hurry. Leading off the bottom of the first inning for the Mainz Athletics, center fielder Jerome Noso. On deck is shortstop Nicky Weichert, and Peter Johannesson is in the hole. Noso shows bunt, pulls back, takes the ball outside for 1 ball, no strike. Jerome swings through that fastball. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitcher drops down sidearm. Slides a fastball by Noso on a swinging strike. And again, in the bottom right-hand corner of the feed, you have the QR code for PayPal. All donations are appreciated. Noso puts one down the right field line. It's going to get out of play over the netting. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jerome pushes one down the first base line. First baseman feeds to the pitcher, but Jerome beats the play, safe at first base.
Nur so schneller am Ball, schneller am Base als der Ball wurde fast. Und damit mit dem Base Runner auf der 1 für Nicky Weichert.
Now batting, runner on first base, shortstop Nicky Weichert. Peter Johannesson on deck. Nicky bunts one down the third base line, foul. No balls, one strike. No, so taking off from first base, Nicky fouls it back to the screen. Jerome makes his way back to first base. And the count, no balls, two strikes. Noso takes his lead up from first base. Not going this time. Nicky fouls an off-speed pitch out over the first base dugout. Count remains no balls, two strikes. Jerome sliding back on the pickoff play. Pitcher trying to keep him honest, trying to keep him from getting too big of a lead. Weichert takes the ball outside. The catcher is a little curious. One ball, two strikes. No, so back again. He was only two steps off the bag. No, so fake's taken off as Weichert puts one out of play over the first base dugout. Count remains one ball, two strikes. No, so fakes again. And the catcher fakes the one behind him. No throw. Weichert puts that ball out to center field. Center field is under it, makes the catch, throws back to first base, but offline. Noso back safely. One out, runner on first base, and the batter, Peter Johannesson. Max Bolt, the catcher, on deck. No, so takes off this time. Johannesson puts one down the first base line, just foul. Jerome's getting a bit of a workout down there. Yep, between first and second. Johannesson takes strike 2. Wyant drops way down on the sidearm pitch. The sail's high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Johannesson puts one down the right field line, well beyond the fence, but foul. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes with Jerome Noso at first base. Pitcher a little concerned with Jerome over at first base. Not taking a big lead. 2-3 steps at most. Back easily. Johannesson puts one down the line. Third base grabs it in the air. Feeds back across the diamond to first base, but hits Noso instead of the glove.
Line drive in den Handschuh von Hagen jetzt zum zweiten Aus am ersten Base. Hat Jerome nur so Glück, dass da rechtzeitig zurück ist.
Jerome back in safely at first base, but a bit shaken up on, looks like his wrist, his right wrist. Noso returns to the field after having his hand looked at. Two outs in the inning. Jerome Noso still at first base. The batter, the catcher, Max Bolt. Off-speed pitch in the first strike. No balls, 1 strike. Bolt swings through a high fastball. No balls, 2 strikes. Ball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball low and outside. Catcher makes a good stop. No, so back with no throw. Bolt waits on that one. The ball eats up the shortstop. Ball rolls into left field. Runner safe at first and second.
Kurz vor Elber und damit beide Runner safe. Max Point auf der 1 und Shonen Muso auf der 2. Anschlag in zweiter mit Timmy Kotowski.
Runners on first and second. 2 outs. And the batter, Tim Katowski, the designated hitter. Ball high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. High and away. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Pitcher drops down sidearm again. That ball sails wide outside. 3 balls, no strikes. Katowski taking all the way. Wyatt gets the fastball in for a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Katowski swings through that off-speed pitch. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners will be running on the pitch. And Katowski puts one down the third base line, just foul. Keeping the third base coach, Mike Otto, on his toes. Ball 4, loads the bases. Jerome Noso at third base, Max Bolt at second base, Timmy Katowski at first base, 2 outs, and the batter, the left fielder, Carl Feldman. Big cut by Feldman. Foul tips off the catcher's mitt. No balls, 1 strike. Feldman takes a ball high in strike zone. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, bases loaded. Feldman stays alive, bounces that one over here towards the live feed crew. If it weren't for the net, it might have done a little damage. Feldman takes an off-speed pitch, high and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Feldman fouls that one down towards the first base dugout. Stays alive for another pitch. Feldman puts that one out to the second baseman. Second baseman toss over to first base. First baseman taps the bag 3 times to make sure he's got it for out number 3. End of the first inning. No score. 2 hits apiece. And we go to the second inning. Leading off the top of the second inning for the Tübingen Hawks, first baseman Matthias Schmidt. First pitch low, 1 ball, no strikes. That one just a little bit higher in the strike zone. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Schmidt fouls that one into the netting over towards the first base dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball just missed the strike zone a little low. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3 right down the middle. Schmidt could not pull the trigger. 1 out. Now batting right fielder,
Strikeout zum ersten
Jaden
aus
Young.
und Jaden Hahn als nächster am Schlag.
Big swing and a miss. No balls, 1 strike. Pitch sails high. Count even. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out. Nobody on base. Jaden puts that one in the air. Feldman playing very shallow in left field. Catches the ball in deep shortstop for out number 2.
Den Catch zu aus Nummer 2. Und am Schlag haben wir damit Stefan Karpf.
2 outs in the inning. Nobody on base. The batter, second baseman, Stefan Karpf. Big cut, fouling that ball back into the netting behind home plate. No balls, 1 strike. Foul back again, same general direction, a little bit higher, clearing the fence behind home plate. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch is high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Big off-speed curveball. Cop just able to get a piece of it. Fouls it back towards the third base dugout. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball high and away. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody on base. Off-speed pitch, he puts it down the line to third base. Maurice Bucadita with a throw over to Felix Derolf for out number 3.
Maurice Bucadita für Stunde weg an der Linie und verwandelt ihn zum dritten aus an der ersten Base. Keine Punkte für Tübingen im zweiten Inning.
Leading off the bottom of the second inning,
Zweites Inning, der erste Anschlag für Mainz ist
Felix Tierolf,
Felix Tierolf.
first baseman, with Maurice Bucadera. Bucadera, I'm going to get it right one of these days, Maurice. And Victor Vol in the hole. Tierolf takes strike one, looking. Puts one in play down the shortstop. Shortstop over the first base in time for out number one.
Ground Ball zum Shortstop und der mit dem Play an die erste Base.
Now batting with one out, Maurice Bucadera. Pitch fooled the catcher, rolls to the backstop.
Maurice Bucadera jetzt am Schlag.
1 ball, no strikes. Bucadera taking that pitch, called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on base. Bucadera's fooled on that pitch. 2 outs in the inning. And the batter, second baseman, Victor Vol. Vol takes strike 1. Off-speed pitch, a little outside. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball fooled on that pitch. Couldn't check his swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch is outside. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody on base. Pitcher bounces that ball up to the catcher. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases are empty. Called strike 3. Full caught looking. The end of second inning. Nothing's changed. Both teams remain scoreless with 2 hits apiece. Moving to the third inning, leading off for Tübingen Hawks, back to the top of the batting order, Marcel Herring. Herring puts that one straight up in the air over towards first base, but just foul. Outside of play. Ball sounding off as it hits the roof of the overhang from the clubhouse. Off-speed pitch drops in for strike number 2. Just a little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Off-speed pitch. Stayed a little inside. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Big curveball. 1 hopper to Bucadata. Throw over to Felix Tilrolf. Not quite in time. Infield hit for Herring.
Mit dem Hit an der ersten Base. Kammelfächer jetzt am Schlag.
Runner on first, nobody out. Batter now, Camille Petchal. Off-speed pitch in for a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Herring taking a very short lead at first base. Petchal squares the bunt, fouls it back to the screen. No balls, 2 strikes. Petchal puts that one in play out towards the gap between left and center. Feldman tracks it down. Gets the ball back into play quick enough to keep the runner from tagging it first. One out, runner on first base. And the batter, Luca Helder. Off-speed pitch, that ball is going to reach the gap. Rolls to the fence. Noso tracks it down. Gets the ball back into the cutoff man, Nicky Weichert. Weichert throws to home and is play to plate. And the runner is out. Helder takes second on the double, reaches third on the throw to home plate. 2 outs, runner on third base, and the batter, Hagen Retz. Straight down the middle. Retz taking all the way. No balls, 1 strike. Off-speed pitch. He puts it out to center field. Noso coming in. Makes the call, makes the play. 3 outs. And we move to the bottom of the second inning.
Aus Nummer 3 in Mainz. Keine Punkte für die Hawks hier im dritten Inning.
Leading off the bottom of the third inning for the Mainz Athletics, top of the batting order, Jerome Noso. Noso watches the pitch sail outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball low. 2 balls, no strikes. Again, ball low. 3 balls, no strikes. Noso taking all the way. 3 balls, 1 strike. No outs, nobody on base. Noso fooled on the off-speed pitch. Counts full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Noso puts this one into play down to the shortstop. Shortstop over to first base. Plenty of time. 1 out. Now batting with 1 out, the shortstop, Nicky Vajcik. Nicky puts one into the center field for a single on the first pitch. One away, runner on first base, and the batter, Peter Johannesson. Johannesson takes the pitch in the strike zone for strike 1. Peter takes strike 2. Readjusting his gloves. Stepping back into the box. Nicky Weichert takes a moderate lead off first base. Not going. Pitch is up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball just a bit outside. Giving my best Bob Uecker impression. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, and a runner on first base. Johannesson drills one right at the shortstop. Weichert able to get back in first base. Two outs, runner on first base. Batter's the catcher, Max Bolt. Ball missed the strike zone low. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs, runner on first. Ball puts that one out of play down the right field line, outside the security fence. Bolt just misses that one. Fouls it straight back to the baseboards of the backstop. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bolt spoiling another pitch. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bolt reaches up for that one, puts it into right field, back to the fence, and over the head of the right fielder for a home run. Nicky Weichert crosses home plate. And Max Bolt does the same.
Ja, hatte das ganze erste Spiel drauf gewartet. Jetzt ist er da. Home Run, Max Bolt, die Mainz Athletics gehen in Führung mit 2:0. Der nächste am Schlag ist Timmy Kotowski.
Now batting designated hitter, Timmy Kotowski. 2 outs, nobody on base. 2 runs in. Kotowski puts one in play up center, into center field on the first pitch. Bringing in Carl Feldman, the left fielder, to the plate. Feldman fouls one back.
Und jetzt am Start für die Mainz Athletics. Runner auf dem ersten Base.
Pitch is outside. Count even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Feldman swings through that pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball misses the strike zone, a little low. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs in the inning, and Timmy Katowski at first base. Dropping down sidearm again. Pitcher sails that one high and outside. Full count. Katowski will be running on the pitch. Feldman fouls that one back into the netting. We'll do it all over again. Staying alive, Feldman puts one into the netting just over the third base dugout. Feldman takes ball 4. Katowski moves down to second base as Carl trots down to first base.
Ort für Karl Feldmann, Runner ist auf der 1 und auf der 2 für Felix Tirolf.
Now batting first baseman, Felix Tirolf. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Off-speed pitch drops in for a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Tyrrell puts one down the third base line, eats him up through his legs. Katowski coming around to score. Feldman holds up at second base. Hagen Rutz doing his best Bill Buckner impersonation. If you're not familiar with that reference, look up Boston Red Sox, Bill Buckner. The batter now, Maurice Bucadita. 2 outs, runner on first and second. No balls, 1 strike. Off-speed pitch. Maurice fouls it back to the baseboards. No balls, 2 strikes. Maurice puts that one in play. But the second baseman tracks it down in shallow center field for out number 3. Mainz Athletics break the scoreboard first with 3 runs. So after 3 innings of play, Mainz leads Tübingen Hawks 3-0.
Oberhälfte, 4. Inning, Joshua Wine beginnt.
Leading off top of the 4th inning for the Tübingen Hawks, pitcher Joshua Wyant. Stokely bounces that one into Max Bolt. 1 ball, no strikes. Second pitch is low. 2 balls, no strikes. Wyant puts it in play down to Felix Tyrolf. Tyrolf fields it cleanly, steps on the bag for out number 1. Now batting the left fielder, Cala Michel. 1 out, nobody on base.
Startet zweite mit Halbe.
Nice breaking ball, drops in for strike 1. Ball low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Puts that one in play past the diving Bocadita. Feldman gets the ball back into Weichert, into Victor Boll, holding Michel to a single. Coming to the plate, first baseman Matthias Schmidt. 1 out, runner on first base. Called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Another looking strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner on first base, 1 out. Just a little outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner takes first base on a hit by pitch, even though he made absolutely no effort to get out of the way of the ball.
Hit by pitch, damit Schmidt auf die erste Base und Michel auf die zweite.
Bundesliga baseball umpires have been more proactive than Major League Baseball umpires in calling that play when a batter does not try to get out of the way of the ball. Schmidt made absolutely no attempt to get out of the way of that one. The batter now, right fielder Jaden Hyung. Pitch is low, ball one. Hyung batting with one out and runners on first and second. That ball straight through for a strike. Puts that one in play out to second base, tosses the shortstop to first for the double play, ending the inning. Leading off the bottom of the fourth inning for the Mainz Athletics, second baseman Victor Fohl. Fohl watches strike one. Sidearm pitch sails in high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball low and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Viertes Inning, Victor Voll, der erste am Schlag für Mainz.
Ball swings through that pitch. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Voll watches strike 3.
Strike 3 called zum Strikeout. Erstes Aus hier, obere Hälfte des, untere Hälfte des vierten Innings. Oben sind wir hingegen in der Betting Order.
1 out, bringing the top of the order back up. Jerome Noso batting with 1 out, nobody on base. Jerome first pitch swinging, puts the ball out of play, past the first base fence. No balls, 1 strike.
Obacht blieben länger liegen, wird der Kollege aus Stubenberger an der Donau jetzt gesagt.
Noso with a check swing, foul ball back to the fence, behind home plate. No balls, 2 strikes. Noso puts that one out to the second baseman. He fields it on a short hop, tosses it over to first base for the out. 2 down, nobody on base. Nicky Weichert, the batter.
Rechtzeitig an die erste Base zum zweiten aus. Anschlag mit zweiter mit Nicky Weichert.
Sorry, y'all, I ain't got no haters. Everybody love black ass Darth Vader. You and your woman love to see me coming. Come through bumping, little kids running, chasing me down like the ice cream truck. These police, they never like me.
Weichert first pitch into play. Right fielder's pimped out under it. Takes about 5 or 6 steps back, makes the catch, ending the inning. After 4 innings of play, Mainz remains in the lead 3-0. Leading off the top of the 5th inning for the Tübingen Hawks, the number 9 batter, Stefan Karpf.
Gerade noch am Play zum dritten Aus beteiligt, jetzt schon an der Homepage Stefan Karpf.
Off-speed pitch. Karpf lifts it out into right field. Johannesson makes the call, makes the play.
Right field, da steht Peter Johannesson mit dem Catch zuerst.
1 pitch, 1 out. Back to the top of the order. The center fielder, Marcel Herring. 1 out, nobody on.
Anschlag mit zweiter mit Centerfielder Marcel Herring.
Herring puts first pitch into play. Out to second base, Victor Voll. Victor over to Felix Tillroll for out number 2.
Und das Aus folgt dann der Peter an Erst Base bei Felix Tillroll.
2 outs in the inning. Base is empty, and the batter, Camille Pechal, the catcher. Pitch out takes first pitch strike. Pitch out puts one into play left field. Carl Feldman making the attempt, overruns the play. Pitch out into second with a double. Ball gets past the short cutoff man, but everybody's bobbling the play, but pitch out remains at second base. Two outs, runner on second base. And the batter, Lucas Helder. Make that Luca Helder. First pitch right down the middle, strike one. Fastball inside and low. Evens the count, 1-1 strike. Pitch is low. 2-1 strike. 2 outs, runner at second base. Helder way out in front of that one, but gets just enough of it to bounce it back to the backstop. Count even, 2 strikes. Helder puts the ball into play. Felix Tilroth takes it, tosses over to Lenny Stokelin, covering first base for out number 3.
Unter der Hälfte, 5. Inning, Peter Johannessen, der erste am Start.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th inning for the Mainz Athletics, right fielder Peter Johannessen. Pitch just a bit inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Peter drills one. Center fielder looks at it, watches it go way over the trees for a home run.
Wenn es auf dem Grün mal wieder der erste Baseball gibt, dann war es Peter Johannessen.
After Johannessen's trip around the bases, next batter is catcher Max Bolt.
Max Bolt jetzt der Schlag für Mainz. 4:0 der neue Spielstand nach dem Solo-Home-Run von Peter Johannessen.
Count to Max Bolt is 1 ball, 1 strike. No outs and nobody on base. Bolt puts one straight out to the center fielder. He takes 3 steps to his right for out number 1.
Centerfield von Max Bolt hier. Erstes aus.
One down, nobody out, and the batter, designated hitter, Tim Katowski. Katowski swings through that pitch. No balls, 1 strike. Timmy doesn't miss that one, sends it straight up the middle for a solid single out to center field.
Genau durch die Mitte mit dem Base-Hit Runner jetzt auf der 1 für Karl Feldmann.
1 out, runner on first base, and the batter, left fielder, Carl Feldman. Feldman takes first pitch, puts it high in the air out to left field. Left fielder under it, makes the catch. Shallow left field. Katowski retreats to first base. 2 outs, bringing up the first baseman, Felix Titterolf. Pitch in for a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Second pitch. Strike. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. 1 run in. Katowski still at first base. Ball sails in high and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball just a bit outside. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, runner on first base. Soft grounder out to shortstop. He turns the short throw to second base for the ending fielder's choice. After 5 innings of play, Mainz has extended the lead to 4-0 on Peter Johannesson's monster shot. Leading off top of the 6th inning for Tübingen Hawks, the third baseman, Hagen Ratz.
Das Halbfinale bei der Junioren-Europameisterschaft gegen die Niederlande. Deutschland verliert leider mit 4:2.
Pitch drops in for a called strike. Hagen Retz is not happy with the call. Home plate umpire tells him to stop. And he steps back in. Stokeling bounces that one into Max Bolt. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Retz gets just a piece of that one. Fouls it back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Big curveball doesn't quite drop into the strike zone. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Retz puts that one into Johannesson in right field on a single.
Retz mit dem Base ins Right Field. Runner jetzt also auf der 1 und Anschlag jetzt weiter mit Joshua White.
Runner on first, nobody out for the pitcher, Joshua Wyant. First pitch drops in for a strike. Retz taking a moderate lead off first base. Not going. Big curveball drops in for strike 2. Stokely muscles up, but ball low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Puts that one into shallow center field. Shortstop Nicky Weichert ranges out to make the catch.
Kurzer Flyball im Shallow
Reds
Center Field, aber Nicky
not
Weichert
able to take
macht den Catch zum ersten Aus.
the base on that play. 1 out, runner on first base, and now the batter, Caleb Michel.
Kalle Michel, der nächste Anschlag für Tübingen.
Michel puts one over Bocadita into left field. Feldman gets the ball back in quickly. Runners moving up station to station. Runners at first and second, 1 out, with first baseman Matthias Schmidt coming to bat.
Michel mit dem Base Hit, jetzt Runner auf der 1 und auf der 2 für Matthias Schmidt.
Stokely puts a big curveball in, dropping in for strike 1. Big swing and a miss, and a throw back behind the runner. Michel slides back in safely. Ball low and away. One ball, 2 strikes, as the home plate umpire gets the scoreboard corrected. That ball drops in for strike 3.
Zum zweiten Aus.
2 outs in the inning. Runners at first and second. And the batter, right fielder Jordan Hung. High and away, ball 1. Hung puts the ball in play. Bocadita puts the ball over. Tildorf cannot make the catch. Johannesson fields the ball in right field foul territory. Hagen Ritz comes around to score. Michel moves to third, and Hung goes to second on the fastball at first base. One out, runners on second and third, and the batter, Stefan Karp. Garf puts the ball up the middle. Jerome Noso covers the ball, comes in. Bolt can't make the catch, and Hung scores. We now have a 1-run ball game. Runner on first base, still 1 out, and back to the top of the order. with Marcel Herring at bat. Herring puts one into the sky. Carl Feldman coming in to make the catch for out number 3. Leading off the bottom of the 6th inning for the Mainz Athletics, Maurice Bocadera. Takes ball low. 1 ball, no strikes. Bocadera fouls that one out over the first base dugout. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Maurice misses that offering. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bocadera does not offer at that one. Count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Maurice puts that one in play to shortstop. Shortstop over the first base. Ball in the dirt, but the first baseman digs it out for out number 1.
Am ersten Base. Das erste Aus hier. Mit der folgenden Schlag gemacht.
1 out, nobody on. And the batter, Victor Vold. Ball coming in just at the bottom of the strike zone. Strike 1. Ball clears the backstop fence with that foul ball. No balls, 2 strikes. And there's looking strike 3. 2 outs in the inning. We move to the top of the order with Jerome Noso coming to bat.
Strikeout zum zweiten Aus. Und damit sind wir wieder oben bei der Beurteilung.
Noso takes strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. Ball a little high and outside. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jerome reaches out for that one, puts it out of play down the right field line. One ball, 2 strikes. That pitch sails high. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on base. Low and away. Count full. Jerome thought it was a little inside. The umpire thought it caught the inside part of the plate. Strike 3 looking. 3 outs. After the 6th inning, Mainz holds a 1-run lead over the Tübingen Hawks 4-3. Moving to the top of the 7th inning, leading off for the Tübingen Hawks, Camille Petschal. First pitch, looking strike. Second pitch, he puts into the play. Weichert fields it cleanly, throws over to Theodorf, makes the stretch and the catch for out number 1. Now batting the shortstop, Luca Helder. 1 out, nobody on. Helder reaches out, fouls one back over the home plate backstop. No balls, 1 strike. Helder puts that one in play, deep over Feldman's head and out of the park. We have a tie ball game.
Hier gibt jetzt der neue Spielstand.
One out of the inning, 1 run in, and the batter third baseman, Hagen Retz. Retz taken all the way, strike 1. Swinging at that pitch in the dirt, no balls, 2 strikes. I'm guessing that ball was just a little outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stoeckling delivers 1 high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball put in play out to Victor Voll. Victor tosses over to Felix Del Rolf for out number 2. Now batting the pitcher, Joshua Wyant. First pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. Second pitch in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 outs, nobody on base. High and inside, ball 3. Wyant taking all the way, ball down the middle. 3 balls, 1 strike. Puts the ball into play, up the middle, out to center field to Jerome Noso for a solid single. Nicky Weichert, player manager, taking a trip out the mound to talk to Stoeckling. And looks like he's going to make the call to the bullpen. Replacing Lenny Stokelyne on the mound is Ben Briggs. Ben inherits a runner on first base with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Two outs in the 7th inning. Runner on first base, Joshua Wyant, and the batter, Kalle Michel. Briggs' first pitch sails in for a strike. Soft line drive. Weichert has the ball. That's out number 3. Briggs 2 pitches, gets the out, and that closes the book on Stokelyne for the day. Lenny Stokelyne give you his line score coming back at the end of the inning. At this time, we'd like to thank all of the sponsors. So closing the book on Lenny Stokelyne. Closing the book on Lenny Stokelyne. 6 2/3 innings pitched. 4 runs, 11 hits, and leaves with the score tied. Ben Briggs now the pitcher of record. Also would like to give a shout out to those who have contributed through PayPal during these broadcasts today. Greatly appreciated. At the bottom of the screen you see the website for the Mainz Athletics and the GoFundMe link. The QR code for PayPal. Leading off the bottom of the 7th inning, shortstop Lenny Weichert. Lenny takes a strike for ball 1 or strike 1. Called strike 2. Nicky stays live, putting that ball out of play. behind home plate. No balls, 2 strikes. No outs, nobody on base. Pitcher spoils another pitch. Count remains no balls, 2 strikes. Off-speed pitch outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Beitcher puts that one into play. Shortstop fields it, bounces it to first base, and the umpire calls Beitcher safe. Bang, bang play. Umpire calls him safe. Runner on first is Nicky Weichert, and now batting Peter Johannesson. Nicky taking a moderate lead at first base. Not going. Pitch is outside. Ball 1. Low and outside for ball 2. Peter puts one in the air, shallow right field. First baseman, the second baseman goes out. Right fielder comes in, drops into no man's land for a Texas League single. Nobody out, runners at first and second, and the batter, the catcher, Max Bolt. Max puts that one in play out to shortstop. Shortstop tosses over to third base to get the lead run. Fielder's choice. Johannesson moves to second, and Max Bolt moves to first. 1 out, and the batter, designated hitter, Timmy Kotowski. Sidearm delivery. Kotowski puts one into the gap between left and center. Rolls to the fence. Johannesson comes across. Max Bolt barreling down the line. Comes in with a slide. He's safe at home. Kotowski with a 2-run double, 2 RBI double. Putting Mainz back in the lead, 6-4. Timmy Kotowski on second base, 1 out, with Carl Feldman coming to the plate. Feldman puts first pitch into play. Over the left fielder's head. Rolls to the fence. Katowski gingerly comes into home plate. Carl Feldman with a stand-up double and an RBI. The 10th inning crew getting the fans riled up here. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. Joshua Wyant's day on the mound is done. He is still responsible for the runner at second base. Matthias Schmidt comes to the mound from first base, and Joshua Wyant replaces him at first base. Matthias Schmidt has completed his warm-up tosses. Runner at second base is Carl Feldman. One out in the inning with the batter, Felix Theodorov. Felix takes the ball down, but within the strike zone for strike one. Schmidt sails that pitch in high. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Spins the move, throw back to second base. Feldman back in time. Felix puts that one into play. Past the third baseman. The shortstop makes the play. Carl tries to advance to third and safe at third. Shortstop can't make it. Third baseman had ranged over to make the play, so there was nobody at third base. Tilroff at first base. Runners at first and third with one out, and the batter, Maurice Bocadita. Schmidt sails that one in high. Ball gets past him out to shortstop, but Feldman not moving, and Tilroth remains at first base. 1 ball, no strikes to Bocadita. Bocadita taking all the way. Ball in for strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, runners on first and third. Pitch is right down the middle. Bocadita does not offer. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tilroth fakes the run from first. Ball hit back to the shortstop. Bocadita able to beat out the throw as it bounces into first base. Feldman comes in to score. One out in the inning. Runners at first and second. Victor Vole coming to the plate. And the book is now closed on the starting pitcher, Joshua Wyant. Surrendered 8 runs on 12 hits in 6 1/3 innings. Schmidt's pitch bounces past catcher. Tilroth moves up to third. Bocadita moves up to second. Still 1 out. Infield is in all the way around, trying to stop another run from scoring. As Victor puts one down the left field line, drops in fair territory. Tilroth comes in to score. Bocadita stops at third base, and Victor Vole stays at first base. Runners at first and third, 1 out. Back to the top of the order with Jerome Noso batting. Pitch is inside, ball 1. Noso puts that one past the shortstop into left field. Bocadita comes in to score. Victor Vole stops at second. Jerome Noso with a solid single and RBI.
Auf der 1 und auf der 2 für Nicky Weichert.
1 out, runners on first and second, and the batter, shortstop, Nicky Weichert. Weichert swinging first pitch, fouls the ball out of play over the first base dugout. Schmidt's pitch sails in high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Weicher puts that one in play. Down to third base. Third baseman steps on the bag at third. Across the diamond to first. Inning double play. But Mainz puts 6 up on the board in the bottom of the 7th inning to take a 10-4 lead. Leading off the top of the 8th inning for the Tübingen Hawks. Current pitcher of record, Matthias Schmidt.
Pitcher Matthias Schmidt, der erste Armschlag hier im 8. Inning.
Ben Briggs with his first pitch, a little inside, ball 1. That pitch not quite as inside. It caught the inside part of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Briggs bounces that one into the face mask of the umpire. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yeah, just a little inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Ball put in play down to Maurice Bocadera. Can't find the handle on the ball. Runner safe at first.
Ball kann da nicht unter Kontrolle gebracht werden am dritten Base, sondern mit Schmidt auf.
Runner on first, nobody out. The batter, right fielder, Jaden Hyung.
Einschlag, zweite mit Jaden.
Briggs sails that ball in high. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitt throws over to first base. Schmidt was only a couple steps off the bag. Pitch again outside. 2 balls, no strikes. High and outside, ball 3. Three balls, no strikes. Runner on first base, nobody out. Taking all the way. Ball straight down the middle. 3 balls, 1 strike. Throw over to first base again. Schmidt back with no problems. Young puts one down the third baseline, foul territory. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on first base, nobody out. Ball sails in a little high or outside, not sure which.
Runner jetzt auf der 1 und auf der 2 für die Tübingen Hawks.
Runners at first and second, nobody out. Number 9 batter coming to the plate, Stefan Kampf.
Einschlag, zweiter mit Stefan Kampf.
Big cut. Foul tips it back into the umpire's chest protector. No balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. Big curveball, foul tip into the catcher's arm. No balls, 2 strikes. Briggs drops curveball in. Kampf is not liking that call. 1 away. Runners at first and second. And back to the top of the lineup, Marcel Herring. Briggs with a curveball dropping in for strike one. Herring gets a foul ball off that pitch. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, runners on first and second. Herring puts that ball into center field. No, so gets the ball back into second base. Pitcher Matthias Schmidt comes in to score. Time is called by the Athletics. Weichert comes in to check with Briggs, consulting with catcher Max Bolt. And that's the end of the day for Ben Briggs. Coming on to pitch for the Mainz Athletics is Tim Katowski. Katowski inherits runners at first and second with 1 out. Tim Katowski has completed his warm-up tosses. 1 out, runners on first and second. And the batter, catcher Camille Petchow. Puts the ball in play, down to first base. Tyrrell tosses over to Katowski. Katowski can't handle the ball. Runner safe across the board.
Der Ground Ball into erstes Base und da ist kein Play wirklich an der 2 und auch das an der 1 gelingt nicht und damit jetzt Bases loaded.
Bases loaded, 1 out. and the batter, shortstop, Luca Helder. Pitch is low for ball one. Pitch is high, ball two. Ball's right down the middle for strike one. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out. Bases are loaded. Helder puts 1 out to center field. Jerome Noso's there to make the grab. Gets the ball back in. Runner tags and scores from third base. 2 outs, runners at first and second. 2 runs in. Current score 10-6. Runners on first and second. 2 outs and the batter, Hagen Retz. Pitch is low, ball one. Pitch is right down the middle. 1 ball, 1 strike. Curveball dropping in for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Retz puts that ball into play. 1 bouncer to Katowski. Katowski to Theodorf to end the inning. Tübingen puts 2 on the board. Score midway through the 8th inning, 10-6 in favor of Mainz. Leading off the bottom of the 8th inning for the Mainz Athletics, right fielder Peter Johannesson.
Beginnt das 8. Inning für Mainz.
First pitch from Schmidt is fouled out of play over the third base dugout. Count. No balls, one strike to Johansson. Pitch is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Peter swings at 1 in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch comes in low. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Low and inside. Counts full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Max Bolt on deck. Johansson stays alive. Bouncing that one to the baseboards in the back of home plate. Schmidt steps off. Johansson steps out. Everybody's back in play. Johansson holds off on that one. Catcher appeals down to the first base umpire, but no swing. Johansson trots down to first base, bringing up Max Bolt. Pitch is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Nobody out. Runner on first base. Low and outside, ball 2. That ball bounces up to the catcher. 3 balls, no strikes. Nobody out, runner on first base. Bolt taking a big hack at the pitch, fouls it back. 3 balls, 1 strike. Johansson takes off from first base. Bolt puts it out to the gap past the left fielder. Johansson coming all the way around to score. Bolt with a stand-up double. One run in. Max Bolt down at second base. Nobody out. Timmy Katowski, the pitcher of record, at bat. Katowski fouls one back to the netting. No balls, one strike. Pitch sails in for strike two. Ball bounces in. Bolt stays at second. Catcher may have been crossed up on that pitch. One ball, two strikes. Nobody out. Runner on second base. Ball high and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball 3 sails in, high and away. I stand corrected. Timmy Katowski is not the pitcher of record at this time. Ben Briggs remains the pitcher of record, being the recipient of the 6 runs scored in the bottom of the 7th inning. That ball's low. Katowski trots down to first base. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Left fielder Carl Feldman coming to bat. Feldman takes strike 1. Carl out ahead of that pitch. Running it down the first base line, foul territory. No balls, 2 strikes. That ball sails in high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Feldman takes ball inside. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Feldman battles that one off. Yannick Wildenheim with a nice play in the coach's box at first base. Okay, it was a slow roller. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Feldman swings through that pitch for strike 3. One out, runners at first and second.
Gesamtschlag weiter mit Felix Tiro.
1 run in for the batter, Felix Theodorov. Ball down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch sails in high. 2 balls, no strikes. Felix out in front of that pitch. Sends a foul down the third base into the bullpen. Two balls, 1 strike. 1 out, runners at first and second. That ball sails past the catcher. Max ball moves up to third base. Timmy Katowski down to second base. 3 balls, 1 strike.
2 runners scoring position für die Mainz Athletics.
Tyrrell puts one into short left field. The shortstop was playing in. Max Bolt comes around to score. Timmy Katowski comes around to score. It's a 2 RBI single for Felix Tyrrell. And that's going to be the end of the day on the pitcher's mound anyways for Matthias Schmidt. Coming in from the bullpen for the Tübingen Hawks, Leo Brewer. Pitcher Matthias Schmidt moves to first base. And Joshua Wyant heads to the dugout. Leo Brewer inherits the runner at first base with 1 out. Coming to bat, third baseman Maurice Bucadita. Maurice taking all the way. Strike one. Curveball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Irgendwas hat Tübingen gewechselt, weiß nicht mehr genau was und sagt ja keiner was.
Bocadito lays off that one. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bocadito fouls that one back to the backstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch just a little low, maybe a little outside. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bocadito spoils that pitch. Out back above and beyond the home plate fencing. Backstop. Count remains full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ball bounces in for ball 4. Bocadito moves down to first. Theodorov moves down to second. 1 out in the inning, runners on first and second. And the batter, Victor Voll. Victor slices one down the left field line. Up in the netting. Strike 1.
Jetzt Victor Voll mit Runner auf der 1 und auf der 2 am Schlag.
Full takes strike 2 down the middle. Victor reaches out, gets that curveball, places it in center field. Theodorov comes around to score. Bocadito stays at second base.
Dann haben wir weiterhin Runner auf der 1 und auf der 2 für Cherogoso.
Runners remain at first and second. Still 1 out. 4 runs in. And back to the top of the order with Jerome Noso. That ball bounces all the way back to the backstop. Bocadito moves to third. Victor Voll down to second. Ball 1 to Jerome Noso. Noso puts that ball into play. Out at first base on the force play, but coming around to score from third base, Bocadito. Voll stays at second base rather. Now batting with 2 outs, 5 runs in. Runner on second base, Nicky Weichert. Pitch is low, ball one. With the score at 15-6 here. A base hit, possibly scoring Victor Foll, could end this game with mercy rule. Weichert puts that ball into play into the right center gap. That's going to be a walk-off win for the Mainz Athletics.
And that's the game.
Victor Foll scoring from second base. Nicky Weichert with the solid single into the gap. Final score of the second game of the doubleheader, 16-6, mercy rule after 8 innings. I want to thank all the people who helped out with the production of this broadcast, the camera crew, the director. Takes a lot of people to put a production disc together. Next week, these teams will move down to play another doubleheader in Tübingen.
Das war noch nicht das letzte Heimspiel der Mainzer Celtics in dieser Saison. Nächste Woche geht es erstmal nach Tübingen in der Best of Five Series, die jetzt mit 2:0 von den Mainzer Celtics angeführt wird. Gilt es noch einen Sieg mit nach Hause zu holen und dann geht es gegen den Sieger aus der Serie.